A shocking reality unfolded in a quiet Victorian alpine town. Dezi Freeman, a familiar face at local church services, is now at the center of a tragic manhunt after allegedly killing 2 police officers and injuring another. But here's where it gets controversial. Just days before the violent incident, Freeman was seen attending Mass with his family, blending into the community as if nothing was amiss. Residents of Porepunkah, a small town nestled in Victoria's scenic alpine region, were stunned to recognize Freeman in news reports covering the shootings. Parishioners from Our Lady of the Snows Catholic Church in nearby Bright, a tourist hotspot about 7 kilometers away, identified him as a regular attendee who often came with his wife and baby. This connection between a peaceful churchgoer and a violent suspect has left many grappling with disbelief. On the Sunday following the shootings, as police intensified their search in the surrounding bushland for Freeman, a few local Catholics braved the chilly morning to attend the 11 a.m. Mass. To their surprise and disappointment, the church doors were locked, and Father Tony Shallew, the parish priest, was nowhere to be found. This absence sparked frustration among the community, who expected spiritual support during such a tense time. One parishioner, speaking anonymously, recalled the Mass on August 24th, describing Freeman as restless, with his baby quietly sitting on a rug near his mother, Amalia, Freeman's wife. The baby had been baptized in the same church about 6 months earlier, symbolizing the family's connection to the parish. Interestingly, Freeman had also once contributed to the church by helping repair a vandalized statue of the Virgin Mary in the garden, showing a side of him that seemed engaged and caring. Another church member, also preferring to remain unnamed, noted that Freeman stood out because he was noticeably younger than most of the congregation. She expressed her disappointment that Father Shallew did not show up on Sunday to offer comfort and solidarity to the shaken community. Attempts to reach the church office for comment went unanswered, adding to the sense of unease. Meanwhile, on the 6th day of the manhunt, Bright's Main Street was bustling with locals, but noticeably lacking tourists. Ryan Alexander, a senior employee at Gumtree Pies, shared that business had been unusually slow, with sales dropping by 60% on the previous Friday and Saturday, compared to typical weekends. However, Sunday saw a slight recovery as more visitors arrived, drawn by the nearby snowfields. Alexander acknowledged the media's portrayal of a fearful atmosphere, but praised the police for their effective efforts in maintaining public safety. He believed that visiting Bright remained safe despite the recent events. In stark contrast, Porepunkah's Main Street was nearly deserted. The only open cafe had very few customers. Local resident Dezi Saunders, enjoying a cappuccino with his dog Louie, usually relished chatting with tourists, but none were around that day. As a tourist transport business owner, Saunders lamented how the shootings had tarnished the town's reputation. Now everyone knows where Porepunkah is, for the wrong reason, he said, highlighting the long-term impact on the community's image. Next door, Ben Kay, owner of Porepunkah Ski Hire, described how the normally bustling Shock was eerily quiet. With good snowfalls at nearby Mount Hotham and Falls Creek, his business would typically be swamped with customers waiting in long lines to rent skis and snow gear. Yet on that Sunday, only 2 staff members were working instead of the usual 6 to 8, as authorities advised tourists to avoid Porepunkah during the ongoing search for Freeman. Despite the economic hit, Kay urged perspective, saying, "It's difficult talking about the impact on business when there have been lives lost. You've got to keep it in perspective." This tragic story raises difficult questions. How well do we really know the people in our communities? Can someone who appears so ordinary and involved in local life harbor such darkness? And what responsibility do community leaders have in times of crisis? Should the church have remained open to offer solace, or was caution the wiser choice? We invite you to share your thoughts. Do you believe the church should have stayed open to support the community, or was closing the right call? How do you think small towns can heal after such shocking events? Join the conversation below and let us know your perspective.